Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we will be looking at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, a Northern Californian park in Vallejo, California. We visited this park during the first week of August, so it was a nice summer day to go to an amusement park, and Discovery Kingdom was just around the corner for us. Without further ado, let's get into our thoughts about Discovery Kingdom. The park, at the time we visited, had 10 roller coasters. These are their B&M Sit-Down Medusa, Boomerang, their Vekoma Boomerang, their SLC named Kong, a Skyrocket 2 named Superman, their 40 Free Spin themed after Batman, their RMC Hybrid Coaster themed off of Joker, Cobra, their Zero Tivoli model, the Flash Vertical Velocity, their Intimate Impulse Coaster, Harley Quinn, their Skyline Skywarp, and a Zamperla Gravity Coaster named... Wait, I forgot the name anyways. The park has a new coaster coming this year, being Sidewinder Safari, which is a Zamperla spinning coaster. We got into the park right as it opened and left around 6 o'clock, I would say. We only had one day at the park, but honestly, that's all you need to see to do everything. One thing you're gonna notice about Discovery Kingdom is how small and condensed it is for a Six Flags park. It takes no time to get to any of the major rides. For example, take the DC area. Here you have Joker, Batman, Harley Quinn, Superman, and Wonder Woman all in one area. All 6 of these rides are some of the park's biggest attractions, but it takes no time at all in order to get to them. The coasters are super condensed to each other since the park is highly landlocked and they need all the space they could get. The whole park is like this for the most part, so it makes getting around a lot easier when compared to another park like Magic Mountain, which is just huge compared to Discovery Kingdom. When you enter the park, you'll see some shops and this beautiful fountain center, and there are 3 paths you can take. Going left will take you to the DC area I just mentioned, the right will take you to the Oasis area where Medusa and Kong are, and going straight leads you to the zoo areas, Whitewater Rapids, which is their main water ride here, and also Boomerang. Most of your day, however, will just be spent in the front of the park if you really want to get all the major rides done, so let's get into some of the pros and cons of this park. Starting with the pros, this park is beautiful. It's so lush and vibrant, and it isn't mostly concrete like Magic Mountain. Their front entrance was absolutely amazing. With close-ups of Medusa, and also the path being right next to Joker, you get some really good angles right there in the front. As I said before, it's easy to know where everything is at since it's just all mushed together, so it makes walking to different areas a lot more convenient. The ride operators were amazing. Medusa barely had a line the whole day just because of how good the throughput was. There were many times where the trains were rolling through the station, and that was very much appreciated. None of the rides that were open that day were running one train, only except for Kong, but that's something I need to get to in a bit, because we need to talk about the cons, and sadly, this park has quite a few. First off, their coaster collection, when looking at the models they have, are fantastic, but when you stop to think about the rides themselves, you can start to see how mediocre they are. Most of their coaster lineup are clones, like SLCs, a Boomerang, a Free Spin, a Skyrocket 2, and all their kiddie coasters are clones. The only original coasters here are Medusa and Joker. You can kind of count the Flash because it has that inverting front spike, but that's still technically a clone. Funny enough, before Joker became an RMC hybrid, that too was a clone, with the other version of the old wooden coaster Roar being located at Six Flags America in Maryland. These are all good rides, but that's just all they are, they're just good. Medusa was a ton of fun, but it lacked in forces, and it just seemed to be an average sit-down. Batman was amazingly fun, but it's just a free spin. The rest wasn't too notable except for Kong being a sleeper hit of the park, but at the end of the day, that's nothing original, it's nothing really special. Joker was my number 1 in the park, but it barely cracked my top 10, and the rest are just meh coasters, or we didn't even get to ride them because they were closed the entire day. There were 2 coasters that did surprise us, but I'll get into that in a bit. Another thing to take into account for the cons are the test seats. Usually these are good to use if you're on the larger sides, but you don't want to trust them here. Like Medusas and Jokers were completely wrong, same thing with Batmans, and the rest just didn't have any. So keep that in mind if you're on the bigger side. The test seats did make for a fun joke at the end of the day, but it's still, it's just, you have something you have to keep in mind when coming to this park. Just don't trust the test seats, we have learned. Getting back onto the rides, most of them were just good at best. Boomerang was just that, a boomerang. Cobra was a kiddie coaster, Medusa was fun but forceless and a bit rough at times, and sadly Superman wasn't open the entire day. As I mentioned before, there were 2 rides that did surprise us, those being Batman, their 40 Free Spin, and Kong, their Vekoma SLC. Free spins are the type of rides that coaster enthusiasts roll their eyes at when they see a new one being announced, but Batman was a lot of fun, mainly because we had low expectations, but my point stands. We see why someone else may not like them as much, as one ride can be boring and uneventful while the next can be an out-of-control ride, but we found the best way to get the most spins would be the person who weighs more sits on the inside seat. And the reason why I say that is because the last time I tried sitting on the inside seat, we got barely any flips, but when BJ was on there, it was like a rodeo. It was crazy. The other ride that wowed us was Kong. SLCs are known to be some of the worst rides ever due to their roughness and terrible restraints and terrible profiling, but did that make the ride any less fun? No, not at all. Kong was our most anticipated credit here, and the moment we hit the first drop, we were laughing the entire time. Sadly, it did open 30 minutes before we had to leave, and the line was like 20 minutes, so we were only able to get one ride, but it's just more of a reason to go back anyways because we had way too much fun. For those of you who may not know, this park is also a zoo. There are many animal exhibits to go see, and my personal favorites were the sharks, and that also happened to be the only animal exhibit we took the time to look at, because most of the animal sections, which are in the back of the park, were just dead or seemed empty when compared to the front. The back is literally it's such a shift. The front is so vibrant and beautiful, and the back of the park is just dead. The only real reason why someone would actually go back there was if they have more family-friendly rides they want to go on, or if you want to go on Boomerang, or if you go near the DC area, they also have a nice little kids area, so if you don't want to walk to the back of the park, just stay to the left of the park and you'll be fine. Another thing that sucked at the park was the fact that some of the rides took a while to open, or stuff like Superman or Hammerhead didn't even open during the day. But that's just due to staffing issues caused by COVID, so that's something we can understand. At least they made up for it in operations, because even if they were running one train like Kong or Boomerang, the operations were fast. The food wasn't the best either. We ate at Primo's Pizza, which obviously serves pizza there, and compared to the pizza you can get at Magic Mountain, yeah, it's way better than Discovery Kingdoms, but don't even get your hopes up high for the Magic Mountain pizza, that sucks. Everyone at the park that was working there was super nice and patient with whatever we needed, whether it be a ride operator or store cashier. Props to the guys who work there, everyone was excellent. Our ride count totals to 3 rides on Medusa, 3 rides on Batman, 2 rides on Joker, 1 on Cobra, Boomerang, and Kong. The park has its charm, but needs some serious work done in some areas. For 2022, they are adding Sidewinder Safari, and maybe that'll work out for some park improvements, but seriously, Six Flags, you need some work done to this park. This could easily be a gem in the chain, with a surprisingly good lineup of rides, but it still has a long way to go. With the final score, I give Discovery Kingdom a 7 out of 10. It was a fun and enjoyable park to be in, but I wouldn't go here for more than a day trip. What are your thoughts on Discovery Kingdom? Do you agree or disagree? Make sure to put your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.